Okay, beautiful people out there from all over the world. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. This is Pastor Micah, live from Prime Media Studio. Of course, you know how we do it here. I'm going to be giving you the latest gist from the various news platforms, and of course, a lot of issues are hitting up from the Election Petition Tribunal to the Niger Republic military coup, and so on and so forth. A lot of the issues. So we're going to be giving it a bit today as regard what's going on. So stay put as we take you on the ride. So it's Prosper Micah, and of course I have my able producer working double as cameraman, working to ensure you have the best of today's show. So stay put as we start right away. So we're going to be starting with the news from the Vanguard Punch to precise. We have the issue of NLC insisting on Wednesday strike. So NLC, as we speak right now, are mobilizing their workers to embark on the nationwide strike on Wednesday. So they have urged everyone that banks or most of the business activity will be shut. You won't be able to buy nor sell because they fear that the federal government has been taking them on a ride. And the fallout on that meeting last time did not really have issues. So as regard that, they have insist that the strike must start. So that's how it is. So we don't know if the government will look into this quickly and do the needful. If you look at their request, what's the request? That the price of petrol should go back to the previous price, about 185 naira per liter. Then the policy should be put in place before the federal government can think of increasing fuel price and other major things. And they want government to look into the CNG and the alternative to petrol so that life can be easy for their member and, of course, for the entire citizen. So these are some of the requests. But these have not been met, and people are suffering all over as a result of the hike in the fuel price. So as a result, they have decided that the previous meeting with the federal government has not been fruitful. Nothing good has come out from it. Even the last meeting, they have to walk out from the meeting. They storm out the premises of the meeting because the federal government representatives didn't come on time, and the federal will be taken for a ride. As a result, now they have decided to embark on the strike by Wednesday. So as we speak right now, the NLC are mobilizing all the bodies that we ensure this strike take effect. So that is how you can see the gist of that story on the Punch newspaper, online newspaper. And of course, on Vanguard, you can see that no court order stopping us from peaceful protests. NLC tells federal government that there's nothing like a court order mandating us not to protest because it's the right of NLC. So, as the story reads, the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) has told the Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Justice, that there is no order, be in interim, interlocutory, or perpetual, from either the National Industrial Court or any other court restraining Nigerian workers from participating in peaceful rallies convened by it. It also reminded the federal government through Solicitor General that there is a subsisting judgment that the right to demonstrate and protest on matters of public concern was in the public interest, which individuals must possess and exercise without impediment as long as no wrongful act was done. So this is NLC speaking tough in this area, telling the federal government no court orders can stop this because Nigerians have right to protest when they find there are issues around them that's not government policies, they're not comfortable with government policies. They have right to protest. So that's what it's on Vanguard. You can read through. I just give you summary of the story. You can go through and be able to get more details from there. Then, of course, Presidential Tribunal, INEC, Tinubu, Atiku, Obi to adopt final address today. So today, they are going to adopt their final address to enable the judges to finalize on their decision. So I'm going to read briefly on the story. So the Presidential Election Petition Court, PEP, sitting in Abuja, is getting set to deliver its judgment on the three petitions seeking to nullify the election of President Tinubu. So as a precursor to the fixing of the judgment date, Justice Haruna Susmani led 5-member panel has directed all the parties to appear before it tomorrow to adopt their final brief of arguments. So Tuesday, they are likely going to appear before the judges on Tuesday to give that speak on the matter and what they actually want court to do. From this address, the court will not take their decision. Of course, this decision is meant to last within 90 days, and the time has actually elapsed already. The time is running, and they want to ensure that the judgment is delivered so that the Nigeria will know the way forward, because it really affects a lot of people, because investors in particular, because they don't know where this pendulum is going to swing. With the court uphold the election, would they consider Tinubu as he actually won the election with 25% that you must win Abuja to be qualified to become president? Are they going to validate it or not? Are they going to say, oh, it's not necessary or not? Okay, they forge your certificate and so on and so forth. And what are they going to say about this? So these are the weighty issues that a lot of people are expecting, and the youth have been patient as regards these, and they have listened to, especially the obedient the movement. They have actually waited and they've been obedient to to Peter Obi, because he has asked them to be patient, that he's going to proceed on legal, follow through with legal means, and they have actually waited and getting closer to that area where the decision will be taken on who actually won the election, or if there will be a cancellation, if there was going to be a rerun, or they're going to upheld the victory of the APC candidate in the person of President Bola Tinubu. So this is it's hitting up all over the place, and we hope everything goes well. Okay, so moving on to the next story, we can see that Nnamdi Kanu only granted access to doctors, but still in custody. This is DSS speaking here. That okay, fine. Nnamdi Kanu was only granted access to doctor, to medical, not really that he was asked to go. So there are a lot of controversies as regard this, and so you just, the stories in the Vanguard, you can just go through it to know what the story says about Nnamdi Kanu. If actually the courts actually grant him a bail, and he was still detained, or it was what DSS is saying, that it was just a temporary access to the doctors. You see it over there. So go through the story on the Vanguard online. Then let's just move on to the next story. Of course, we let that Tinubu, this is on Vanguard, Tinubu to make nationwide broadcast 7 p.m. today. So we don't know what they want to tell the world or Nigeria as a whole. So by 7 p.m. Nigeria time, you can tune in to know what Mr. Tinubu want to address the nation. Yeah, so he's going to address the nation by 7 p.m. today. So we look forward and cross our fingers and see what's going to tell everyone. So moving on, let's look at the story that says all set for Senate screening of Tinubu's ministerial list. The nominees today. Of course, we know that about 28 names was submitted to the Senate to go through and screen, so to be sure this set of individuals have the capacity or they have clean record to perform in though the portfolio has not been assigned to them. Normally, they ought to have given them and their portfolio. That would actually help the Senate to know if each of these person, if it's going to be a square peg in a round hole or a round, to be sure that okay, this person has the capability to be able to handle this ministry. But portfolio was not assigned to them; just names that was sent. So, and some arguments are saying that hey, the president he knows their strengths, he knows what to assign to them, but we expect the right thing to be done. Assign portfolio that will not help the same. Just like you're coming for an interview and without a CV, how do we know what you have done before? What you will do? What is your open letter and all that? What's not assigned? As far as it's like this, I don't know what to call it, but people are arguing. Okay, fine. Some of the snake they might know El-Rufai, they might know Wiki, but it's not all Nigerians that know Wiki or El-Rufai. So, though the screen takes place today, so we won't know if they are all going to pass through the screening and be assigned a portfolio to perform. So, just watch. That will be done today. Then moving on. Now, federal government has not done enough to stop labor from calling for protests. This Excel is saying this, that federal government has not really done what they ought to do to be able to stop the protests from coming in. And I think this is obvious, it's glaring to everyone to see because they have had two or three. I think it's the timing the Labour Congress NLC has given. I think it's enough time for the government to actually mediate and be able to come up with a speedy palliative measure to ensure that Nigerians don't suffer. And this is almost 40 days plus right now. People have been suffering, and the NSA have been going forth, back and forth on this matter. Last meeting, nothing was done, and they had to storm out from that meeting immediately and call for this strike, which I think they might not go back from there because there is no palliative measure put in place yet. The 8,000 naira per household a month that the federal government proposes, there was a lot of backlash and a lot of thoughts about that. This is not going to help because what we have experienced is like 300% increase in transportation, and 8,000 is not enough to handle this. And people talked about it, and the federal government has put that on a hold, and people are still suffering. And this is the call of the NLC. This is why they have decided, okay, fine, if that is going to go, let us go on strike until you bring back the fuel price to the former price, 185 naira per liter. Then we can then discuss and know the way forward. I think this is what we expect. Every average Nigerian have expected the NLC to ought to have done earlier, even within the first week of this increment. Now, a lot of things have gone down the pipeline, and those are comfortable with this now. We don't want this to go back the way it was. Because like this saying in Nigeria, wherever it goes up, doesn't come down. The law of gravity doesn't apply to Nigeria when things goes up. So we don't know how it's going to swing. So we see how it's going to go. But for now, it is best that if you have some money, you stock your home so that you don't get stranded. And we don't know when it's going to, if it starts, how it's going to end. Because a lot of people suffering, they're going through a lot, and a lot of people would really capitalize on this to actually ensure the government do the right thing. So that story is on the Chinese news platform, online platform. You can see it there. Let's just move on to the next story that talked about Nigeco. Plotters dismiss ECOWAS threats. Bazoum reinstatement. So yes, the ECOWAS they're talking tough to ensure that the military return power to the democratically elected president of Niger Republic. But right now, they are telling ECOWAS that we don't listen to your threat. We heard during the week that they were like urging, or rather saying that ECOWAS president, his election wasn't properly done. How can he be saying anything concerning the what happened in Niger? So there's a lot of controversy in that area, and of course the military are holding on to power. We don't know what's going to happen next. until we just watch and see how they're going to mediate on this and on that regard. That story is on Punch newspaper. You can get the gist from there. Okay. Yeah, of course, you still watching Prime Media Studio. Yeah, I've been solo here with my producer, and of course, I hope you enjoy your day during the weekend with our able comedian Shakiz. Cracking our ribs up. Of course, when there is a lot of tensions everywhere, you need something to crack your ribs up. Okay, and we're going to make sure that it's not just only weekend. During the week, also you get to laugh and smile. So that you don't grow old too much. So you can look young. So when you smile a lot, you grow younger. Okay, so that's what they say. So yeah, you want to keep smiling no matter the economic situation. So Shakir's, of course, our DJ couldn't make it because of some really unexplainable, rather unexpected hindrance to his. So hopefully he's going to be with us within the week again, so he can shake your body and dance. He's going to be coming with the latest blast in the industry, so he can be able to dance to that. So now let's move to the next story that talked about demolition squad renders widows, children homeless. Homeless in Lagos, and these issues of demolition has been really causing a lot of pains here and there. And some of them are saying that, okay, they were giving notice. Some are saying they've never been given notice. We saw one earlier at Amward of where this beautiful buildings were brought down. Some of them, the cars are still parked in the compound. The ACs, everything is, the fittings are still on. You see them using the excavators to, pull them down. And people have been wailing and all that. And I'm not sure, I don't know if any of these have been compensated, because we see them crying and doing videos, posting online that this demolition is taking place, my house is this and that. And I will see this also in the Punch, saying that demolition squad house to render widows and children homeless in Lagos. And this is becoming talk of the town at the moment. You can just see the producer, please, can you bring that up again? You can see the properties of some of these people outside. Let me just read briefly of this story. Several women and children have been rendered homeless as agents of Lagos State government burn houses and demolish others in Oworoshoki area of the state. So Punch Metro learned that no fewer than 6 streets were affected by the demolition that started last Monday, with a further threat by the task force that others would be demolished on Monday, which is today. When our correspondent visited the area on Sunday, several children and elderly women were seen sleeping outside their burnt houses, while some others were taking refuge inside abandoned tricycles. Some residents who spoke lamented that the state government did not give them notice, adding that people were not allowed to take out their belongings before they burnt down their buildings. So this is, like I mentioned earlier, this is what has happened. This is the live report from that environment, that they did not get a notice, and their house has been burnt down and demolished, and some have to sleep outside. Just imagine this cold weather, people, women, children sleeping outside. This thing can be done in a better way. It can be done in a better way. This is in this hardship, where I think I just hope they know what they are doing. Okay. Yeah. So from this note, we're going to call it a day here. Just last one before we sign up from here. Niger Republic, West set trap for ECOWAS to go into war. Adamu Gaba. As we're saying that, whatever you're saying, Niger Republic, that is a trap set up by the West. So now, if you want to know what that story says, go to Vanguard's online platform, then check it out. So you know what Adamu Gaba is saying. So, yeah, it's been Prosper Micah, and you've been watching Prime Media Studio on this beautiful Monday. So, catch you next time. You have a wonderful and blessed as the